5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're now tuned into the 411 podcast and reading Between the Wines, powered by the Black Diamond Consultations Network. More than a podcast, this is a sanctuary for self-discovery, healing, and personal growth. Here, we explore what it means to live debt-free, not just financially, but spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Every episode is part of a journey across our weekly mentorship series: Spiritual Sundays, Mental Mondays, Transformational Tuesdays, Wind Down Wednesdays, Coaching Sessions Thursdays, and Financial Fridays. Each day holds space for wisdom, clarity, and real conversation. So grab your journal, pour your glass, and prepare to go beyond the surface. Because here, we don't just talk, we transform. And now, here's your guide through it all, entrepreneur, mentor, and founder of Black Diamond Consultations, Laren Gaines.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the 411 podcast. What's going on, everybody? If you are out there, I want to say thank you so much. If you could please do me a favor, please like, comment, share, subscribe, tag a friend, text, do whatever you could do to help support this movement. And of course, I want to say thank you again for hanging out there with me tonight and checking it out here. I also would like to give a very special thank you to my executive producer. I want to thank God for giving me an opportunity to come out here and do it again. Another opportunity to get it right. Another opportunity to share my story. Another opportunity to just be hanging out, chilling with the people who have been supporting me. Welcome in. This is Mental Monday. Another week. Like I said, another opportunity to do this thing and get it right. This is going to be, I want to say, a deep show. Let's just say deep. We're going to go in deep. I have an opportunity on a weekly basis to speak to so many different people. And so many people go through, it's a rough time in the world. All you have to do is turn on the news. All you have to do is just pay attention. And you're going to understand, if you don't already understand or overstand, however you want to box it up, label it up. It's a lot going on. But like my girl Mary says, you ain't the only one. So don't get so down on yourself. I talk to so many people that get so down on themselves, and I have to say, listen, we're here, right? We woke up today. We're breathing. We're still pushing. We're still moving. And there's so many people that didn't make it, but we are still here. That's enough to celebrate, and that's enough to be thankful for and be grateful for, that we're still here. And we're going to get into this tonight, but I just want you to keep that on the forefront as we go this. Episode 40, The Real Me is Tired. This 5 Restoration 411 podcast, part of Mental Monday, the Black Diamond Consultations Mentorship Series. Monday, July 28th. This month is almost over. Here we are getting ready to get into August. This summer is just, it is what it is. It's just, I already knew that this was going to happen. The nice, wonderful, amazing, I can say so many great things about summer. The weather is just, I'm in my element, I'm in my zone, but we only get it for a couple months, and you know what happens. But in any case, we're here, we're up, ready to get this thing going. If you want to learn more information about the Black Diamond Consultations Mentorship Series, please do me a favor and just DM me and text me as well, 609-200-1098. I will give you all of the information that you need so that you can have a seat at the table. You can come in and you can dissect these scenarios. We can go back and forth, and we can learn and we can grow together. We're going to get into it tonight. But before we do that, I want to give a quick recap of the last episode. Last episode, we helped Mr. Derek, 45 from Atlanta, Georgia, warehouse operations manager, recently got through a divorce after 6 months of being divorced, 12 years being together, no kids, but they have plenty of debt, plenty of shared debt. And it seems like Homegirl just skipped out. She just skipped out and left. And now Derek is sitting here contemplating going back and forth, telling us that it's really not about the money, but we have apartment leases that are broken. We have joint credit cards that are through the roof and a whole bunch of resentment. And trying to date again, but going back and forth and not really understanding and knowing, and can't trust himself, can't trust others. And bottom line, when we got a lot of this stuff going on, there's a lot of noise in the system. Again, I can't tell you what to do. The only thing I can do is just give you my opinion based on my real life experiences, and it's a lot going on. I want y'all to check out that replay. Go ahead and hit me up on YouTube. Hit that replay. But what I feel is that Derek is suffering from the lack of tending to his spiritual side. Number one priority. Because when you know who you are, others know who you are, and you won't be able to, let me back that up. When you know who you are, others will know who you are, and you will not set yourself up for some of the things that he's experienced. People who know who they are spiritually will not sign up for this type of scenario here. And so lacking the financial aspect as well, because that ties in. It starts with spiritual. Once that spirituality is broken, you start to open up the door for all types of other things. People to play games with your mind. You start to do things outside of your character. Next thing you know, you're spending money and you're doing the most when it's starting in the spiritual realm. So he says that it's not about money, but it is about money because he has a broken lease, apartment lease. We have, and you're not even living in it, first of all. So if we're going to have an issue, and let's just start by that. That was one of the examples that we gave. Joint credit card debt. And then we're trying to get out here and date and try to do it again without cleaning up some of the stuff that's into the situation in the first place. Go ahead and watch that replay on YouTube. You can also check out the audio version where you listen to your regular podcast. And if you do not find the 411 podcast and reading in between the wines available, just drop me a line, let me know, and we will make that thing happen. I want to say that we are officially back on X. We did some troubleshooting over the weekend, and I'm not going to tell you what happened, but it was something very simple. But we're back on X in maybe like 2 weeks, so we want to build that momentum back up. I did learn something new about Daily Motion, that there is a cap as far as, the length of the show. And we had a pretty lengthy show a couple days ago. So because it went over the threshold, which I know this is probably useless information to some people, but it is what it is. Because we went over the threshold, now we have an episode that will not be posted to Daily Motion. But I also want to recognize Daily Motion. Everyone out there, thank you so much. It is amazing. All of the love out there. Overseas, France. Thank you so much to everyone who watches on Daily Motion. We have awoken. Is that I'm not even a right word? We not even a right word that I'm just making stuff up right now, but we have cracked the code and we've done something different for Daily Motion. So join in, celebrate. If you want to check out Daily Motion, please go ahead. Join the crew of the people who have been streaming those replays. Again, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you so much. Great, beautiful things are happening over there. All right, so let's get on into the song of the day. We're here, and let me just back this thing up, right? So I want to talk about the title of this episode. The real me is tired. How many of you out there are tired? We're going to go through this. We're going to get deep for a minute. I said that would be a good word, a key word to describe this episode, deep. So let's get into it. Song of the day, Tired by Kelly Price, released in 2011 off of her titled album, Kelly. The song starts off, and we're going to go through this. I love this song. Kelly Price is an amazing singer, beautiful voice. I feel that she doesn't get enough credit for what she's contributed to the music industry. She's been writing music for so long before she even stepped in the forefront. One of my favorite Kelly Price's album is Mirror Mirror. That album from top to bottom resonates and speaks on so many different levels. Highly, highly, highly recommend. If you don't know anything about Kelly Price, you learn about Kelly Price, put Mirror Mirror on from top to bottom. You will not be disappointed. This is off of the Kelly album. Not of my favorite Kelly Price's albums, but she does have joints on here like this one here. Of course, the one she has with Stokely. And she has a song called Intervention on here, which will help so many people who've been in any type of domestic violence situations. I highly recommend you keep that song Intervention in your back pocket to be able to share that song with somebody. And as we are speaking here on the 411 podcast, somebody reached out to me and said, Laren, please help me because my baby's father he was abusing her. And I had to be very careful as far as texting this individual back and forth because I didn't want him to read her text messages. She said it was a very toxic situation, and I, on the other end, feeling it because I was like, if I do something wrong or say something and he sees it, she could potentially be getting beat. So I remembered that song, Kelly Price Intervention. So what did I do? I passed that song to her and said, here's a great song. Listen to this song. As you're listening to the Kelly Price song Intervention, which is off of this album, Kelly, she spells out the hotline to call for women who need help, men who need help, anybody who's being abused. Listen to that song Intervention. Send it to somebody. There's a way to send it to them secretly like I did here on a 411 podcast to be able to help somebody without the abuser knowing. Powerful. When Kelly made that record right there, powerful. I don't care if she'll make anything else. That right there is powerful. It's called Intervention off of this album called Kelly. But right now, we are speaking to the folks out there who are tired. Track 40, The Real Me is Tired. Song of the day, Tired by Kelly Price, released off of her album Kelly. It starts off with There's a Hole in My Heart. I don't know who I'm speaking to. If anybody out there who has felt that something has driven a hole through your heart, whether you've been through any type of tragic situation, whether you've been through any breakdown, any shakeup, any setback. She says, my soul is bleeding and I need to free my mind because Lord knows. Lord knows. And then we get into I'm tired. Tired of the way he treats me. Anybody in a relationship, a friendship, and you're just tired of the way that they are treating you. Tired of the guilty feelings. Anything that you have put yourself through and you have guilt, because most of the time, I want to say all the time, but just err on the caution and say most of the time, the stuff that we've been through is a result of our own actions, our own decisions. Because nobody can hurt you unless you allow them to. So when you go and you overspend, or you go and you put yourselves in a situation or go to places that no longer serve you, you might have a little guilt. Tired of the broken dreams, That's a big situation right there when your dreams get broken. That's one of the beautiful gifts that God has given us, the ability to dream and think big. And when we allow people to come in and infiltrate and mess up our mind and take up real estate and make us to start questioning and thinking differently about who we are, our dreams become broken. When we start to open up our mouths and share and say a little bit too much to the wrong people, and then they start to twist things around and make us feel differently about who we know who we are, that's when we get broken dreams. I can relate to the next thing, especially being the Sagittarian that I am. Tired of old routines. See, I don't like to be stagnant and I don't like to be stuck. And when I sense that I'm going through the same motions over and over and over again and not getting any different results, we already know what that definition is. But deep down inside, the internal dialogue wants something different, but I realize that I'm on this hamster wheel that I've been in the past. And sometimes, let's just keep it real since we said tired. When we're tired, most of the time we've done it to ourselves, and I've done it too, where I put myself in a situation or committed to something, whether it's a project, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friendship, committed to it, knowing damn well that that's not what I really want. Old routines, getting up doing the same thing over and over and over again. That right there, that's enough to make me tired. Tired of the baby mamas going back and forth, arguing with people, disagreeing. Single parents out there, I don't know who I'm speaking to. I'm only speaking from experience. Tired of the ghetto drama. Listen, I know we come through from some places. I know I've come from some places. I have family members who are still in certain situations, but that don't mean that I want to go back. Tired of the back and forth. One of my biggest breakthroughs and what I've learned, and I've had some shakeups just this year. Here I am, and I remember that I always remember to practice what I teach. Here I am teaching people the minute that you go back and forth, round and round, arguing or debating with somebody about something that is outside of you, you've already lost the game. And as much as I've said that time and time again on this podcast, the minute that you go back and forth, round and round, arguing and debating with somebody else about something that's outside of you that has nothing to do with you, you've already lost the game. I'm so passionate about that because majority of my life, that's what I used to do. I used to pride myself on going back and forth and arguing with people. And as much as I talk about that here on the 4-1 podcast, your boy slipped up about a month ago. The old version of me showed up a little bit. There's a time and place for everything. But I definitely had to let them know, the nice version of me that you see here today, yes, he's here. I've arrived. But trust and believe that there's another version deep down inside of me that will protect the person that you think you might be trying to push over on. And I don't like to get like that. But trust and believe that it's for everything. Tired of in and out of the courts. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but I'm just speaking from experience. The things that I've learned, what God says about going back and forth and suing people and causing all kinds of back and forth, and I've learned so much about that. I've had my fair share of that, and I don't want to do that again. Let's just keep that real. Tired of the games and lies. I can spot a mile away because I've put myself into situations where the crazy games were played. I put myself into situations where lies were just readily accessible. I don't know who I'm speaking to. I'm just speaking from experience. Anybody out there tired of the phony alibis, people going over and beyond extra to just tell you that they weren't here, but in reality they were really there and they weren't doing this the way they were doing that? Mm. Tired of praying that it works. Now, see, sometimes God will take us out of a situation, start to remove us out of a situation, but as stiff necked and obedient as some of us are, we run towards the thing that God is trying to rip away from us and separate us from. We wonder why it's not working. And then here we are sitting here praying and going back and forth, questioning and asking why. This one here is deep. I've been tired of going to church. Now, I got tired of going to church too. And I got tired of going to church. I got tired of being around phony people in the church. I got tired of watching people talk about other people, pointing people out, laughing, carrying on in the church while the pastor is speaking, and the different clothes that this person has to wear, and doing this and doing that. For what? Only to get out of church and go back to doing the same thing that you were doing right before you went in there. If not even worse. Cussing and carrying on before you even get out the parking lot. I learned a lot about church life. And my awakening, biggest awakening, spiritual awakening, really came when I got up out of there. And I've learned so much about God. I've learned so much about the Bible. I've learned so much about how to conduct myself as a human being by removing myself from that situation. So you got to be careful about the church, people that you connect yourself with, because are they helping you dig into the scriptures and learn and grow? Or is it just a show? People out there that are struggling, who is tired of paying bills, that's a whole nother situation. Tired of keeping it real, tired of crying, smiling. Ariana Grande has a song called Fake Smile. I used to get so sick and tired of these little fake smiles and need to go and show up at parties and gatherings, signing myself up for stuff that I know wasn't me. Oh, I was so tired. Tired of the haters, tired of the players. This one here is real deep. Tired of faking it because you don't do it for me no more. Anybody out there in a relationship, in a situation, go to work for an employer that just don't do it for you no more, and then you're just so tired of it? It's okay to be tired, but just don't stay stuck there. Don't stay stuck and don't keep showing up every single day being tired. Don't keep doing it over and over and over again. Just use that as an excuse, saying that I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. The next question is, now that you understand and you know that you are tired, what are you going to do about it? Because I've learned that my vitality, thank you so much for joining, I appreciate you. What I've learned is that my vitality is so important to me. My energy is so important to me today that I'm just not willing to go ahead and give it up to the other side, give it up to the unknown, just give it away for free because it's more valuable than anything. This one here, letting go than holding on. Let's speak about Lauryn Hill, the song Exer. Telling somebody to leave, but you mean stay. Telling somebody to leave and then you begging them to stay. Letting go, but then holding on. Telling somebody that it's over, but yeah, we could still kick it this way. That's a version of being double minded. And the book of James is so powerful. Speaks a lot about being double minded. And a double minded man is unstable in all his ways. And I listen, remember I said I have to remember to practice what I teach. And what I've learned about myself is that I have been the most unhappy when I do certain things, such as what we're speaking about, letting go, then holding on. Saying that I don't want this, but still showing up for that. Saying that these are my standards, and absolutely not. I'm not going to put myself in this situation. But then sometimes saying, well, you know, out of all of the four qualities, you probably met maybe about three, and I'm tired of waiting. So we could be a little bit lenient this time around until the next thing shows up. That's being double minded. And I've learned that when I'm double minded, I have been double minded, that's being unstable, you inherited nothing. You will get nothing. And when I looked at my life and I said, wow, you signed up for this, you signed up for that, you knew you shouldn't have been linked up with this, you knew you shouldn't have been linked that. You know better. When you know better, you do better. Now, if you're better and you ain't doing better, you're being double minded. One day you want to do it this way, then you want to repent, and then you want to go back to the other side, and then you want to play that game, then you want to think that you can do both and serve both and play both sides and be lukewarm and be in the middle, and nah, double-minded, unstable ways, you will inherit nothing. I choose not to be double-minded today. For those of you out there that are just tired and you feel that your strength has gotten the best of you and you might be a little weak and you know you're weak internally, but then you have to go ahead and put on the show and put on that mask and be strong on the outside. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 10. For when I am weak, then I am strong. When you can admit that, listen, I don't got this. I've had a weak moment. I'm feeling weak at this time. I understand the game. I understand the hustle. And right now, this is bigger than me. And I can't do this right now. So I'm going to back up and I'm going to put it in your powerful hands. That's when you get your strength back. So anybody out there that's tired, recognize it, understand it. Everything starts with self. Ask yourself, what role did I play in this? Is there something that I can do to fix the road tired right here today? And when that thing is bigger and better than you, just remember 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 10. For when I am weak, then I am strong. If you stumbled, if you fell, if you made a mistake, trust and believe that the minute that you open your eyes the next day, he's giving you another opportunity to do it again. And when you stay stuck in the past, playing those same broken records over and over and over and over again, that's not a good place to be. Take the record, take it off. You could break it. Don't play it no more. That would be a good example of how to move past that. Put a new record on. It's a new day, a new opportunity to make it work. Stay in the present moment. That's the best place that you can be. You stay in the past, you're going to be depressed. You stay in the future, too much in the future, you're going to bring on stress. But if you stay in this moment and you pick the right song, you get the right one and the right motivation and the right inspiration and the right people and the right scenario and the right situation, you got something. Song of the day, Tired by Kelly Price, off of her album Kelly, released in 2011. All right, so yeah, like I said, the key word tonight, deep, tired. The real me is tired. I will say that the real me has been tired sometimes, but I also know why I'm tired today. Because, see, in the past, I was tired, but I was unaware of what I was doing. I was unaware of what was happening to my environment. I was unaware of the situations that I was attached to. Now, when the real me gets tired, I can look at what I'm building, I can look at the end goal, and then I can make better decisions that way. One thing about being tired is when you are tired, you have to be very, very, very careful. There's one thing when you're tired because you're working on your goals, you're working on being a better version of yourself, you're raising your vibration to higher levels. And yes, that does require work because remember, faith without works is dead. So, yes, we have to work. We are commanded to work. So, yes, there might be a little fatigue here and there, but as long as you are doing the right thing and you are coming from a place of love, when you get tired like that, there's a time for reflection and there's a time to rest up, and that's needed so that you can go back and make better decisions. Because if you stay tired, we can make poor decisions. Now, it's one thing if you're bringing it on because of the goals and the dreams and the ambition that you have over your life and your circumstance, your kingdom. But there's another thing when you're tired because you put on too much and you've attached to other people's stuff, other people's dramas, other people's karma. That's another situation. So we're going to get into tonight's scenario here, and we're going to help Mr. Dante out, 37, from Columbia, South Carolina. Shout out to anybody out there from the Carolinas. Let's get on into this tonight here. Dante says, Dear Laren, I am 37 and I live in Columbia, South Carolina. I've always been I've always been the dependable one, the one people call when they're in trouble, when bills need to be covered, when someone needs a ride to the airport, or they just need to vent. I used to wear that as a badge of honor, and now it feels more like a chain. I don't think anyone really sees me. They see what I can do for them. I've gotten so good at everything's okay that I don't even think I know how to say I'm not okay, even if I wanted to. Lately, I've been asking myself, who's really there for me? Who's checking for me? Who even knows the real me? The tired me, the struggling me, the one who wants to lay it all down for once. My question is, how do I learn to let go of being everything for everyone before I completely lose myself? I'm going to take it to the top. Dante, 37, lives in Columbia, South Carolina. Always been the dependable one. The one people call when they're in trouble, when bills need to be covered, when someone needs a ride to the airport or just needs to vent. I used to wear that like a badge of honor. Now it feels more like a chain. I don't think anyone really sees me. They see what I can do for them. I've gotten so good at pretending everything's okay that I don't even think I know how to say I'm not okay, even if I wanted to. Lately, I've been asking myself, who's really there for me? Who checks on me? Who even knows the real me, the tired me, the struggling me, the one who wants to lay it all down all for once? Lately, I've been asking myself. Now I just read that part all over again, but I'll do it again. Lately, I've been asking myself, who's really there for me? Who checks on me? Who even knows the real me, the tired me, the struggling me, the one who wants to lay it all down for once? My question is, how do I learn to let go of being everything for everyone before I completely lose myself? Now, I am going to start at the bottom, but then I'm going to take it back to the top. How do I learn to let go of being everything for everyone before I completely lose myself? Unfortunately, and again, this is just my opinion, I am not here to give anybody any advice. Everyone needs to do their own due diligence and do their own research. But from what I see here, you've already lost yourself. When people do not know who they are, certain people, it's a certain type of person, can spot someone who does not know who they are a mile away, and they're able to pick that person up and they're able to shape them, they're able to mold them, they're able to turn them into Play-Doh or some sort of silly putty and make them what they want them to be. Now, when you start to wake up, like Dante is waking up now, it doesn't feel so good. Now we want to have an attitude. Now we want to feel a certain way. Now depression starts to sink in. That is because you do not know who you are. So you said, before I completely lose myself, you already have. I know it sounds harsh, but I'm keeping it real. I don't know who I'm speaking to. I'm only speaking from experiences. I've been there before. Today, absolutely not. When you don't know who you are, people will pick you up, they will shape you and they will mold you, and they will turn you into the person who they want you to be. And now he says, how do I learn to let go of being everything for everyone? You can't be everything for everyone. The first thing you need to do is be everything for yourself. Because if you can't be everything for yourself, you can't be anything for anybody else. It looks like your vitality is in the net, just from on the outside looking in. Your energy levels are being depleted because you are trying to be everything for everyone else instead of being it for yourself. How do you get the title of always being the dependable one? How does that happen? Now, some of us, we get this title put on us because of our environment, what we grew up in, what our parents put us through. Unfortunately, some of us have to be the dependable one because in our family dynamic, nobody else is. And it's a shame when a child is labeled as a dependable one, almost like forced to be a responsible adult because sometimes the adults are not responsible and the adults won't make sure that things are done. So then God has put something in us to grow up faster than what we're really meant to so that we can be the dependable one. And then everybody sees, oh, this person is smart. This person, is making sure that they're done. We'll just go ahead and put everything on them because we know that they're going to get it done. There's always one person in the family on that role as being the dependable one. The one people call when they're in trouble. Now you got to take on everybody else's stuff. This one here, I don't understand this one. When bills need to be covered. Absolutely not. Now, even when I was in debt, you're not going to be able to call me and think that I'm going to cover your bill. Now, being wrapped up and trapped up in a relationship, that's a little bit different. Yes, I fell victim to paying bills for my significant others because they didn't do what they were supposed to do. Unfortunately, that's a lesson that I had to learn, but I'm so thankful that I learned it because that type of situation will no longer go on here today. This is a 50-50 type situation. We're going to have to meet each other right in the middle. So, I don't understand that part. Actually, let me back that up and stop saying I don't understand because I do understand because, listen, I was there before. But I'm not sure what this means, how big of a circle of these bills you are covering, but that's a recipe for disaster. When someone needs a ride to the airport, when somebody needs to vent. Now, there's a financial aspect of it. There's an aspect of it, ripping and running, going here, there. everywhere doing backflips, making sure that people are getting to places that they need to get to. And then now we speak about the spiritual, and now we speak about the mental. When people need to vent, your spiritual being can take a hit, your mental health can take a hit. When people think that they can call or show up at your front door and bring their drama to you. I know lots of people who are readily accessible to the people that they've allowed to just tap in whenever they want to. And for me, I know this ain't about me, but listen, I know I've been a couple years ago, 5, 6 years ago, this would have been me right here. But you just can't show up at my doorstep whenever you want to. And it's not going to be all roses if you decide to think that you can do that. And you can't just call my phone and start to unleash your BS on me and think that I'm just going to be answering that all the time. Now, if there's somebody who obviously has a 911 situation and this is genuine and this is not an everyday thing and someone's going through something, of course, let's be open-hearted and let's do the right thing and help people as needed. But anybody out there that has a friend that just calls them every single day and has nothing good to say, and there's always some drama, there's always some issues, nothing ever goes right, that's the situation I'm speaking about. Not somebody who's calling you with a 911 situation and they never have a problem, or it's a once in a blue moon and this is a real situation and they need a friend to rock with them. I got you. I'm talking about the person, and I know that there's people out there where you think that as soon as you wake up first thing, I can call with some BS. I have family members that thought that they were going to do me. Absolutely not. You are not calling me at 7 o'clock in the morning, unleashing your BS because you don't know how to get in your spiritual realm and understand and know who you are. Nah, not happening. So it seems a lot of this is going on. Now, you used to wear it as a badge of honor, all that as people pleasing, because it sounds like you were a people pleaser, might still be a people pleaser, and when people gave you, I guess, if you feel that they're showing you love or acknowledge that you are just a powerful person and you can call Dante. Call Dante. He can help you. He can wherever you need to go to. Call Dante. Because of that, you wore that as a badge of honor, but now it feels like a chain because you were trapped up and wrapped up and you're a slave to your own. And now you say you don't think anyone really sees you. They see what I can do for them. Now you said that. Nobody else has to say that. You said it right there. You said enough right there. I don't think anyone really sees me. They see what I can do for them. And this part is really deep. You've gotten so good at pretending everything's okay that I don't even think I know how to say I'm not okay. And guess what? After all that you've done, even if you do say that things are not okay, probably going to go in one ear and out the other. And then now that's where the resentment comes in. That's where, and I could just think back about myself. Because when there was a time when I wasn't okay, after all of the stuff that I did for everybody else, the minute that Laren said, I'm not okay, this is not good, I'm starting to really be tired, I'm not feeling this, this situation is no good, I don't like how I'm feeling, please. And because of that, this is not a recommendation. I repeat, this is not a recommendation how you should conduct yourself as a human being. But after that, once I did open up and said I'm not okay, and people decided to do the 180 and turn their back on me, oh, now the gloves come off. Now we ready to rock. We ready to rumble. We ready to get this thing started. We ready to turn all the way up. And that is just not the right thing to do. My recommendation is, if you want to see who really is around you and who's really down for you, go ahead. Tell them that it's not okay. Tell them how you're feeling. And I want you to keep track and keep count of all of the people that turn their back, because some of them will do it. And unfortunately, the most disturbing and disrespectful type of thing is that sometimes it's the people so close to you, the people that tell you that they love you every single day, that they are down for you every single day, that if you need me, I'm here. Sometimes it's family members. That should be enough to help you get your lesson learned. And it could be a breakthrough moment for you to be able to turn this thing around and make sure that it doesn't happen again. If you have to question who's really there for you, the chances are that you already know the answer. Probably nobody. You want to know who's checking for you, who's going to check on you. The minute that you need something, just ask and see. I remember one time I was stranded in Philly. I went to help somebody else out, and our transportation issue ended up backfiring. And never liked calling people, because I had that happen to me when I was younger, when I reached out and say turned around and gave me their butt to kiss, did the 180. So deep down inside, I said, Laren, you will not get to a situation where you have to open up your mouth and ask anybody for anything. You're not going to do it. That's what I told myself growing up. Because when I asked people for money, you know, and this started from a child. Like, this whole thing with money happened from a childhood. Like, there were certain things that I wanted to get as a child and even a teenager, and I wasn't able to get it. I asked for money, whether it be from my mom, whether it be from my dad, whether it be from my grandparents. I asked for money, and whatever the case may be, that has nothing to do with me why I couldn't get it. But it made me feel a certain way, and I had this internal dialogue with myself that said, when you get to a certain point and you're able to make money, you're going to be able to get anything you want, and you ain't going to ask nobody for nothing. So that was the internal dialogue that plays with me. I don't want to ask anybody for anything. I was stranded in Philly, and I had to ask who I thought was my friend at the moment. And I'm going to just leave it at that. They didn't come to my rescue, but that let me know, okay, remember when we said we're not going to ask anybody for anything? Don't put yourself in a situation where you would need to ask anybody. When I took that trip to Philly, I didn't think things through all the way and didn't think how I was going to get back. And yeah. So now we think a little bit differently. When you know better, you do better. That's why I say, if you want to know, just ask. Just don't be like what I was, turning into the Tasmanian devil and turning up, giving people an attitude. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time and be okay with it, be cool with it. Accept people and love people for exactly who they are and put them in a proper place where they need to be. And that's one of the biggest things that I've learned. Accept people and love people who they are. And once you learn that, keep them where they need to be. Like I said before, it sounds like you've already lost bits and pieces of yourself. And you said before, I completely lose myself. If you're still signing up for that, I feel that you don't know who you are. And there's a lot. We can take it from the spiritual realm, because you're signing up for some things that you don't want to. And you're going along with the plan and you don't want to. And when you know who you are, other people will know who you are, and they won't ask you. They won't test you. They won't try you. And even if they do, you will be equipped with so much ammunition that you'll be able to shut that thing down immediately. The old version of myself, people would test me and they would try me and they would try to push my buttons and take advantage. Today, they don't even try, because they already know. And then the people that don't know, I let them know very quickly that we're not having this. From the mental aspect, I can only think that stems from childhood situations where you felt that you had to be the dependable one. You felt that you had to listen. When there's lack of love and you don't get the things that you need as a child, you will end up growing up and showing up and being some sort of people pleaser where you got to make people happy because you didn't get the happiness and the joy that you got that you needed as a child. So there's some mental work that I feel might need to be done as well. And when we're tired because we've ran ourselves down and we've done so much, your body can take a toll. It can start to take a toll on your body. So from the physical aspect, I don't know, when everybody needs something, maybe Dante will just disturb his peace, wake up out of your bed to go do things for other people, and then you can become tired and worn down. In the financial aspect, paying bills. So we got a lot going on here. Yes, this is Mental Monday, but some of these things are all interconnected, just as we are interconnected as human beings. So things can cross. When it comes from the mental aspect, since we're focusing on the mental aspect of this here, it's going to take from what I see here, that's a big struggle here, and that's going to be some heavy weight to carry. But the beauty behind it is that it can be done. When you get to a point in your life where you've accepted all of the stuff that you've accepted and what you thought somebody said, making up these scenarios, and I have to do this because I don't want people to think this way about me, and I don't want them to think that way about me, and what if that. When you get past all of that, you become very powerful. When you could care less what somebody else thinks, when you start to tell people no, and that's exactly what that means, and no, and you could be okay with it, and it don't phase you one way or the other, you become very powerful. If you are the person that starts to hem and haw and go back and forth, and oh well, I don't want them to get upset, and is it disturbing your peace? If the answer is yes, then guess what? I don't care. If it's disturbing my peace and I can't be the true, authentic version of myself just to make you happy, the answer is absolutely not. Now, I've done that before. Disturb my peace just to turn around and make somebody else happy. Sign up for that when I really wanted that. Went here when I know I really wanted to go there. The mental aspect took a trip. The mental aspect was played. I saw something today where somebody said, it is not selfish. And it's not. It truly isn't. And I thought for some reasons that it was because of how things get in the matrix. It is not selfish to take care of yourself and yourself first. Because if you don't love yourself first and you don't do the things that recharge you, make you happy, make you feel good, build your spiritual being up, keep your mental health in check, keep your vitality levels on point, keep you good from a financial aspect. If you don't do the things that keep all of these things up and running into the levels that are acceptable, how can you help somebody else and how can you show up the right way? I witness somebody almost every single day show up mean mugging and being disrespectful. And I could say Only thing I could do is just pray for them and say, you know what, I remember that used to be me. Projecting your BS off on somebody else because you didn't take them to build yourself up spiritually, to build yourself up mentally, to be able to handle the nonsense that we all got to deal with in this world. But now, because you didn't do your job, you think that it's okay to project and give attitudes and throw shade and just be disrespectful to other people. That's the most disturbing thing that I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis when I see people show up like that, because that used to be me. And I know it's like, God, I understand that I get to see it, to witness it, and sometimes I see myself in other people. It ain't easy. If you want to chime in on tonight's scenario, tonight's assignment, please feel free. You can text me at 609 200 1098. I never claimed to be a genius, but I lived long enough to see this. And you might see something that I didn't see. So if there's something in tonight's scenario, if there's something in tonight's assignment that you saw that, you know, hey, Laren, have you thought about it coming from this aspect? I've witnessed this, I've experienced that. We all grow together and we all learn together. Please feel free, reach out, let me know. 609 200 1098. You can also DM me on any of my social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, D Live. Let me know what you feel about tonight's scenario. Now we're going to go ahead and get into burning questions. So this is the segment where I'm going to ask some questions here. And these questions, you can take it from the rhetorical aspect. You can also journal, reflect, and ask yourself these questions. Because one thing that I've learned, instead of questioning others, sometimes we need to question ourselves. I was so big on questioning others that sometimes I didn't take that time to question myself. Burning questions. Are you tired from life's demands? Or are you tired from hiding your truth? We're about to get deep now. Are you tired from life's demands or tired from hiding your truth? Now, I don't know if you can sense it, but I sort of get a little stumbled up with the last part. Or tired from hiding your truth. And the reason why I get stumbled up from hiding your truth is because I don't like that saying. Because it isn't your truth. See, I was tricked before with thinking that it's your truth. I've heard, oh, go ahead and tell your truth. But it's your truth. It's the truth. So are you tired from life's demands? Or are you tired from hiding the truth? That's the way it should be worded. But I wanted to put that in there so I can have a conversation about when we hear people say, go ahead and speak your truth. I don't want to speak your truth. I want to hear the truth. And we all know where the truth comes from. And see, that's the problem. And again, I don't know who I'm speaking to. I'm only speaking from experience. But I tried to tell my truth, and I tried to live in my truth instead of living in the truth. And then that's where all of the drama and some of this stuff that Dante was going through, I went through as well. Because I'm sitting here trying to live my truth instead of just living the truth. And life's demands, listen, this is life and there's going to be all types of stuff that go on, but that don't mean that we have to sign up for it. That don't mean that we have to let life happen to us that way. Life is going to happen anyway, but listen, I don't need your life mixing and intermingling with my life because, listen, I have enough on my plate to be focusing on my life. I can't have yours. So be careful. Life's demands. Is it your demand? Is it what your life is demanding? What it takes to make your world go round? There's some demands that are going to be there. There's some things you got to do. Yes, you got to get up. You got to go to work. You got to hustle. You got to grind. You got to make it work. Those are your life's demands. But take a look in your life. Ask yourself the question, do I need this or do I want this? Because if I need it, that's one thing. But all of these wants here, because I want this and I want that, it's going to cause a lot more pressure. And there's going to be more demand for my time, for my energy, for my money, for my resources. So listen, we write our own stories. So whatever you got going on in your world, that's because you wrote it. And if you don't like it, then that's time for us to go ahead and write a new story. Start a new chapter. We can start to write some things out. We can start to delete some things from our story, and we can start to write things that make sense. I don't know who I'm speaking to. I'm only speaking from experience, but that's exactly what I had to do because my life was very demanding. The old version of me, that life was very demanding. Today, it might be demanding from a different aspect, but that's because I wrote my own story and I write what I want to happen, what I want to show up here today, not what somebody else wants, not because someone else projected and put their other stuff and their burdens on me and I just signed up for it and said, here we go. So the question is, are you tired from life's demands? Your life demands? And if that's, hey, listen, this is life. And if that's real, I get it. But now what I submit to you is dig a little bit deeper. Let's dig and get down to the root cause and ask ourselves, how did we get here? Why are we here? Do we like it? What can we do to fix it? What do we need to write into the story? And what do we need to write out? And when you don't do that, when you don't reflect, you don't take that time to reminisce, you're saying from the truth. Not your truth. You're hiding from the truth and you're not facing the truth. Burning questions. Are you tired from life's demands or tired from hiding your truth? 609 200 1098. That is the official 411 podcast Reading Between the Wines hotline. Let me know what you think about tonight's burning questions. Let me know what you think about tonight's scenario. If you'd like to have a seat at the table and go through the assignments with me, if you'd like to join the mentorship series, DM me. I can give you some information on that. There's so much other aspects of the mentorship series that comes along with it. And it's exclusive. We have a private live Q&A session. There's text messaging alerts. There's inspirational messages that come out throughout. Of course, you get to podcast and go through the scenarios with me here live on air. DM me. Text me 609 200 1098 if you want to be a part of this process. If you want to chime in on tonight's burning question, if you want to let me know what's going on with tonight's assignment, or if you just want to go ahead and holler at me and say, what's up, how you doing? 609 200 1098. You can also DM me as well. I want to say thank you so much for everyone who's out there joining. Thank you for joining in. Again, please do me a favor. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, tag a friend, text a friend. Head on over to LarenGaines.com. Sign up for my monthly newsletter, Whispers of Wisdom. I am actively putting the final touches on the newsletter for August. So if you want to be a part of that and you want to get this emailed out to you and you're listening for the first time and you're unaware, you want to sign up today. You want to sign up today before the newsletter gets released. If the newsletter gets released after you sign up, if the newsletter, is that right? Oh, yes. I don't even know if I have this together right. If the newsletter gets released, I don't know why I can't get this simple thing together. Maybe it's because I'm tired. But anyway, you want to sign up because the newsletter is going to be released soon. If the newsletter gets released first, there you go. And then you sign up later, you're going to have to wait a whole nother month in order to get it. So the next opportunity will be September if you miss the deadline, is what I'm trying to say. There we go. See, sometimes we got to make things just simple. It shouldn't be overcomplicated. When we overcomplicate things, then it become a little messy. Our lives should be that way as well. At least that's how I like to live my life. I'm a minimalist, and we want to keep it just simple, cool, classy, not over the top. So head on over to LarenGaines.com if you want to get the Whispers of Wisdom newsletter. Inspirational, motivational content delivered to your inbox once a month. And again for August, and it will be released soon. So sign up today so that you can get on that. And it's all centered around what we're speaking about here tonight. Debt-free living from the spiritual, mental, physical, financial. This has been a journey, and I had no idea that this is exactly where I would end. But I started on one aspect, and here we are here today. I am what my purpose is. I understand what my goals are. I understand where I want to navigate in this world. And I know it's different, especially for me to do this is different compared to what I used to do. The show has taken a turn and it's a different aspect as well. And I'm so grateful and thankful for the people who are embracing it and people who are still here and the new people that are coming in the comments. I want to give a very special thank you to Miss Sophie Davis all the way from the UK. Thank you so much for your encouraging words. Amazing. And it's bigger and better than me. It has nothing to do with me, but it has everything to do with giving to the community, everything to do with understanding and knowing what my purpose is and just go. And again, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much to everyone out there who's joining in. I appreciate you. But that's where we're at here. You can get more information at LarenGaines.com. I have been studying like crazy, working off to make this thing work, and so much more, all amazing content. This is what I do. I'm here to give you this. And I know Drew Hill's going to make a promise that you can't keep. So I'm here to give you my word that I'm rocking and I'm rolling and we doing this thing till the wheels fall off. And 5 years in, and it's just going to get bigger and better. I know who my audience is now. I know that there are people out there waiting for this. And I'm here to give you, I'm here. We learning together. We growing together. So many beautiful things are happening. So stay tuned to LarenGaines.com. So many new things will be released on there as well. So you can check that out. Sign up for a free 15-minute consultation if you would like to learn more about debt-free living. If there's something that I said tonight that sparked an interest and there's something inside of you that says, I want to learn a little bit more about this. You might be in debt. You may not. You might be focusing on financial goals. You're focusing on personal growth. Whatever the case may be, you can head over to LarenGaines.com and apply for the free 15-minute consultation. And that's our opportunity to see if we're a good fit. Because for everybody, I have been down this path where I have been so invested, and that is a great word, so invested into somebody else's path in life more than they were, and it just didn't work. Because I wanted them to win so much, but they didn't want themselves. So I vowed to tell myself that I will no longer try to, I want to get the right words. I know I will no longer put myself into a situation where I want the person to win more than they do. Because as I'm pushing, as I'm fighting, and we're trying to make this thing work, and the other person's not holding up their half. Listen, we all get weak. Sometimes we make mistakes, but you gotta want to do this. I can give you the tools. I can give you the resources. I can show you the path, but you're gonna have to walk through that door yourself. You're gonna want this. This is for the person who wants to get out of debt. This is for the person who wants to do the right thing. This is for the person who wants to show up spiritually, mentally on point. This is for the person who wants to get that great level of discernment so that they will not go back into the environment and make the same mistake over and over and over again. Person who has bumped their head several times and they want to do something different. Tired, just like Kelly Price, tired of doing the same thing over and over again, sick and tired of being sick and tired, but they want something different. I've always wanted something different because I knew that I was different. Every time I showed up into rooms, even today, still today, even when I show up into certain environments, when I know I don't fit in, it's okay because I'm different and I'm striving for something different. And there's a select group of folks, there's a certain class of folks, there's a certain section or caliber of folks that this is for. And there's others that it's not. And the ones that frown upon this, the ones that click off, the ones that don't want it, I'm okay with that. Because this is only for the select few. Head on over to LarrenGaines.com if you are interested. Check us out this week. Check me out on all of my social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, DLive, Twitch, Daily Motion, TikTok. I post various content on several different platforms. Check me out. Stay tuned in. You never know what you're going to get. So many surprises are going to be coming up in the future as well. I'm going to be doing some live events on different platforms. Special guests coming up soon. So just stay tuned. Check me out. You never know what you're going to get. And on that note, I am going to get some much needed rest so that I don't show up tired. Because when we show up tired, we're not thinking clearly. We can make some poor decisions, and rest is important because we can make some poor decisions financially that could affect us when we do not have a good night's sleep and we don't stay focused. So remember that. Stay healthy. Stay safe out there. And on that note, I will see you when I see you. And thank you so much to everybody who joined. And I definitely do appreciate you. Please do me a favor and share this video because you never know who will get the breakthrough. On that note, thank you so much. Have a good night. Take care now.
4, 3, 2, 1. And that's a wrap on today's episode of the 411 podcast and Reading Between the Wines, where growth is always on the menu, and every pour reveals a little more truth. The conversation doesn't end here. Have something to say? Want to weigh in on tonight's burning questions? Text us anytime at the official 411 podcast and Reading Between the Wines hotline at 609-200-1098. Stay plugged in across all social media platforms at Laren Gaines. We're live and in the conversation on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, DLive, Twitch, and Daily Motion. Prefer to listen on the go? The audio version is streaming on most major podcast outlets. Until we meet again, take what you've learned, sip slow, speak truth, and remember, transformation starts within. Powered by the Black Diamond Consultations Network.